Rose Leto. We've already been talking before we went on. We've been asking everyone, well, we're Cat Nap, but for those who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Rose Leto. I'm a lawyer. I'm a partner. I'm a mom. I'm head of operations here at Nine Scene. I got a few hats that I wear.
It's like, just a few.
Just a few.
You've been here for 25 years?
Yes. Just celebrated my 25th anniversary. It was a big one.
This has been the most kindest group of lawyers I've ever sat with. Not that I've sat with a bunch, but this has been such a lovely experience. Over 25 years that you've been here, what have you seen changed? What have you seen evolved? What has the last 25 years meant to you and changed for you?
I think the law has changed. I think the way leadership has changed. When I started out, there weren't that many female lawyers, period, in litigation. And a lot of them were junior. And once we got a little bit more senior and they started to have families, they started to leave litigation and leave the practice of law. And I noticed that as a huge shift. And then when I was looking around, there weren't that many female leaders that you could look to or feel inspired by. And that's really where I've seen the biggest shift. We have so many female lawyers retaining and staying in the practice and thriving, not just staying in the practice, but thriving and excelling at what they do. And we have a lot more females in leadership, head of operations, managing partner. It's really significant and it's really good to see.
Has the system changed, do you think? Like, has it made...
Why were women leaving when they were having families before, but now they're staying?
So I think there's been an evolution, right? That work from home and work-life balance, it wasn't part of the conversation 25 years ago. And now it is. And I think the more women that come into leadership, the more we make space and the more we lead in a different way. Women lead with their heart. They lead with empathy. There's flexibility. There's that emotional intelligence. And that's really changed the culture. I don't think that's restricted to law. I do think that's throughout the world and society that you see more leading and making space for parenthood, making space for mental health, making space for people who have more than one thing to juggle at the same time.
Yeah, that's great news for our daughters, too.
Yeah, I think men have also taken some parenting on, so they understand that it's important to be part of the picture. So it maybe makes it more empathetic towards women also taking time and how hard it can be balancing and juggling. And just because you're not physically there doesn't mean you're not still working.
Absolutely. But I think that we're now allowing women to say, I have a family. I am a mom. It is part of who I am. And there's a power in bringing that forward and presenting that and saying, I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm going to get it for you and I'm going to get it done. And taking that together with our leadership style, I think that's really made a significant change.
And I feel like it makes for a better work culture. I mean, this, ever since being in the office today and you saying that over half of the lawyers here are women, it just must make it as a more enjoyable place to actually be and also be able to still be a mom. On that note, as a mother and a law firm leader, how do you balance being a lawyer, being a mentor, and also being a mother?
So balance is a funny word.
Yes, we agree.
Right? And so I don't think it's a balance. I think it's a juggling act. And we're not perfect. We can't be perfect. And I think we need to make that real and make people aware of that. And there's some days where you're winning at being a mom. And some days you're winning at being a lawyer. Some days neither, some days both. But I think the juggle is real and we need to show people that there is a juggle, that this image of a perfect woman balancing everything and everything's getting done, that's not real. And so you need to be real with your intentions and you need to create boundaries. And I think being a mom has made me a better lawyer and leader, and being a leader has made me a better mom. And it's about, creating that boundary and doing things with purpose. You can't do everything.
No.
But the things you do with intention.
I feel like women just need to always remind themselves of that, because we hear so often women going to bed at night and feeling like they feel guilty for something that they didn't do perfectly that day. And you're so right. One day it's going to be a little bit this, one day it's going to be a little bit that. Doesn't mean you're not a amazing mom, an amazing lawyer. Every day is different. And we always say tomorrow we can just, actually
start again.
The next hour, the next minute we can start again.
I have a memory when my daughter was 4 and I brought her to JK and it was costume day. And there was no costume.
Of course.
And in that moment, I literally wanted to burst into tears. But I had a village of moms. who came in and there was a costume and my child had a costume and she probably doesn't remember that day. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
It
and
builds
it lives with
resilience,
you.
just so you
That's
know. And
right. They're better for it. I actually do think they're better for it. And I think my kids, I'm really proud that I get to show them that example, that you could be a mom, that you could be a leader, that you can be a boss and be respected. And I think that they're better for it.
I was going to ask you that. Do your kids like your job? Because so often kids are like, do they know how much you do?
I think they're starting to figure that out when they're around people that I work with, and they're like, why is everybody so complimentary? And when they were little, probably not so much. Now that my daughter's a teenager and she's looking forward to her career, I think she also wants to be a lawyer. So I think there's a new appreciation as they get older.
I think so too. Our daughters are, I feel like, the way that they speak, how outspoken they are, how strong they are. I was just saying, my son was at a tournament yesterday, and it's boy-girl team, and he was basically saying how the girls were like putting him in his place. They're like, well, maybe we would do a little better if you threw it to us every once in a while. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so girls like today, because I don't know if when we were younger, we would have said that to the boys like that.
No. Yeah.
Like, these are the women. So your daughter watching you be such a strong, successful, I can do all these things, I'm not perfect, I feel like that's what our girls want to see now.
Yeah. And I think that's what they need to see. And I think not just our girls, but I think all the females and the women coming up in law and leadership, that's what they need to see. They need to know that someone's been there and they paved the way and someone's held the door open for them, and they don't need to be perfect, and they could find a way to have the law mold and their role mold around who they are and not vice versa.
Yes. And also for our boys to see that don't mess with us and we are fabulous.
That's absolutely right. Well, I think our boys are better for it too.
Oh, for sure.
When we talk about law and we talk about you as a mom and you as a woman, how do you think we've fundamentally, or you, not we, because I'm not here, have fundamentally helped women in particular at Neinstein?
I think there's visibility. I think there's representation. And I think that there's about policies. And I think we've focused on all three of those things. And we like to say we have a village. And you have a village of people here that are there to support you no matter what. And sometimes you need the support in your practice. Like, there have been times that we have women here who've struggled with infertility, who've had issues with parents that have been sick or have passed on, with their spouses. And I know when it was my struggle, my village came up. And they had my practice so that I could focus on being who I needed to be outside of the office. And we provide that support. We are there for people. And you need a village in real life, right?
Yes.
You need people to do life with and to support you, but you also need a village in your workplace. And if people come forward and they say, you know what, I need time off or I need this, to have people who allow them that space and that support. And that transfers, like, this is what we do. We are problem solvers for our clients. So it's only a natural extension that we do that for our colleagues.
It's like the ultimate trust, right? You trust each other so much that you can step away and they know that you trust them and they trust you. And it's,
and they got your
it's
back.
sort of an amazing thing because it, although it's about gender, it's nothing to do with gender because you guys are all so competent. You trust that everyone is a family and they can get it done within the village, right? It's not just about, I did this many hours, he did this many hours, so it's not an hourly thing. It's an exchange of competence, really.
Absolutely.
It's like our partnership, right?
It really is.
How is Neinstein approaching innovation while staying human-based?
This is crazy because I feel like this changes weekly. I don't know about you, but I feel like I cannot believe having to keep up with the law and all that is going on in terms of AI.
And we're always saying to the kids, like, because they're using so much of this innovation, we want to remind everybody that there's still going to be a job for you. Because what you hear is like, well, they're just going to be using like innovation for all of this, and you're not going to. You're just going to have robots doing everything.
Yeah, I think that there's a balance, right? Like, AI has its role. It is impressive. It's persuasive, right?
It really is.
You put in all the documents and it spits you out a really nice summary and answers some of your questions. But what we do is we deal with people who have been in the worst times of their life. And what they need is a person. They need empathy. They need support. They need someone who's going to help them solve their problems. And that is the mainstay of what we do, and that's not going to go away. And I think that's what distinguishes us from everybody else. But AI is here to stay. It's a wonderful tool. It's not going to come up with legal strategy
or experience,
right? Or
it doesn't it can't pull from other cases that you've personally experienced that you can apply to their case.
It doesn't replace your instinct. We often ask people, like, what's your superpower? And I think that as people, we have this instinct and this gut that, you get a new case or you meet a new client and the right thing to do. AI is not going to give you that. No.
Or a feeling of, okay, there's a reason there's different lawyers for different things, and you need to have a relationship with that lawyer so you can carry on with the case and get the outcome you're hoping.
And relationship is the fundamental of what we do. It's at the core of what we do. And I think that's why we have the success that we have. Our clients trust us and we build that rapport and that relationship, and we're truly empathetic people. And AI is great, and it's going to make us more efficient to allow us to spend more time with our clients and provide that level of one-to-one contact that they need. So we've implemented it, absolutely, and we'll continue to ride that tide.
It sounds
No, I was going to say, what does a partner do? Like, I was thinking, I'm like, you're a partner, and I'm like, but what is a partner?
We're lawyers, but we're leaders.
Right.
Of the firm.
Of the firm, but of the law, of each other. We help support and lift each other up. We celebrate each other. We're making sure that the business runs effectively. So there are a lot of hats, right? Because you got to run the business, you got to deal with the staff, you got to move the law, you got to deal with your clients. And so you're managing all of those things, and then your part-time job when you get home and managing your family.
It's like you're a mom of a firm.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
It's like you're the mom.
Well, absolutely. That's what it is, right? Women have traditionally been doing all the invisible labor and the mental load at home. And now you just come and you do it in the law firm, and you're making sure that people are seen and there's space for them.
I can't believe it's not all women.
I know. I have, on that note of women, and when you were just saying, just to go back a little bit, when you're talking about having that instinct that, like, AI can't have. We're always trying to, like, let people know how to, like, listen to that instinct, even if it's danger or if it's something you know is right and all of that, how to really feel, like, be able to be in touch with your instincts. And sometimes people just kind of aren't, because there's just too much noise and too many opinions. Do you feel like good lawyers are good at having, like, being in touch with their natural instinct? Is that something that a lawyer should have?
That's absolutely it. And I think at the beginning of your career, when you're new and you're young and you don't have the right mentorship or people around you, you question your instinct, right? And you question your gut. And then, a few years later, you're like, I should have listened to myself. And so having that experience, having good female role models means feeling the confidence to trust your instinct and to know that the people around you are going to support you when you do.
So when you have young lawyers that are, I'm just going to pretend I know something, articling. You want to go to them if their instincts aren't strong and their gut's not strong, and mentor them and let them know to trust that. And they need mentors and leaders to help bring that out.
Absolutely. That's what they need. They need someone to know that they're allowed to learn and to grow and incorporate all of who they are, not just what they learned in law school, but their whole life, and bring it to the table.
Rose, why do you think inclusive leadership is so important to the future of the profession?
As women, I think we lead differently, and we bring different things to the table, right? We bring emotional intelligence, flexibility, compassion, empathy, and we lead with our heart. And I think that leadership style really benefits the law, but also benefits other women. And I think it's our superpower and what makes us special. And that has, collectively as a firm, we've allowed for an amazing retention rate. We've allowed for amazing amount of female leadership. When you take a look at over 50% of our lawyers are women. Almost 50% of our partners are women. And that's huge because it's visibility and it's representation in levels of leadership. So we don't just have lawyers at the table to be lawyers, but we promote them to levels of leadership. And it has a real and meaningful lasting change in the way we run our business. And I think that it helps keep our people here and keep our people happy. And we have an amazing culture of support.
We can feel that.
We heard from one of your colleagues that the people who article here often don't leave. Like they've been here years and years. They love it and they don't want to leave.
Like I'm big on our statistics. I'm a math person, but like 67% of our lawyers have been here for more than 10 years. And most of them started as summer students in their second year of law school.
Wow.
So you are lucky to get in here as a summer student.
And we're
Yes.
lucky to have you, right? Like it's a wonderful culture where we want people to grow and we want them to be the best they can be, and we want to truly support them.
Oh my gosh, with
We
this
can
kind
say
of
yes, we can say-
with this kind of environment and culture and meeting all of you, I just feel like any young person that's watching and wants to be a lawyer, you guys are going to need some more space.
You are going to be. It's,
You know what? At the end of the day, what we do is we help people. And why wouldn't we help our people? Like the people are the fundamental ingredient to success. And if everybody's happy and supported and doing well, then they're doing better work for our clients.
you're so busy, but you're so calm.
I know.
You're
It feels
very
like a
calm.
lot.
And it's all on the outside.
You do a very good job at it. I feel like you just walked off a beach for a vacation because you're so calm. I'm like, this is so amazing.
It was so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.